Hello and welcome to Salud SA, San Antonio's premier health and wellness television show. I'm your host, Anastasia. On this show, we explore the diverse world of alternative healing and wellness. Each month, I feature interviews with local entrepreneurs and community members who have created unique businesses and groups centered around mind, body, and spirit well-being. This month, I have the pleasure of speaking with 4 remarkable women who are part of Nourish Healing Collective in San Antonio. This collective is dedicated to holistic healing and offer a diverse range of modalities to balance the mind, body, and spirit. Today, we'll dive into their individual journeys, explore their unique modalities, and learn how these practices contribute to balancing the mind, body, and spirit. I'm really excited to learn what they do, so let's get started. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. So I'm here today with members of Nourish Healing Collective, and we're going to talk about what they do and what kinds of modalities you can expect to see and experience in their space. So let's start by talking about a collective, because I think there's some confusion around the word collective and what it really is. So can we get an explanation? What's a collective?
Well, I would say, I think all of us would agree here that when we're talking about someone who has an illness, that there's more than just physical, that there's oftentimes sometimes an emotional component, a mental component, possibly even a spiritual component. And so a collective is a really wonderful way to bring various practitioners in together to help bring people back into balance or wholeness using various modalities that touch on all those different aspects of the person. And so we also refer amongst each other. You know, if I'm really having a hard time with one particular issue that I haven't been able to help someone with acupuncture, then I might refer over to, you know, Tabitha, or so we also kind of work together in that way too.
Very cool. Yeah. All right. So that's a collective space. So it's a variety of practitioners in one space. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop to fixing whatever ailments you might be plagued with.
And we even have a movement space. We have a space for community is a big part of our collective too. So we have a place that the community can come together. Even community members can like rent space to have like, you know, gatherings. It's so good to get people, you know, together.
Yes. And I've been to this space and it's so beautiful. So, yes, just describe this space a little bit. Like, is it one, you know, I know that there's multiple rooms, multiple practitioners. Is everybody there at one time? Like, how does it work?
You know, everybody really schedules themselves. So we have, you know, about 4 different treatment rooms. So, you know, if you were to make an appointment, then it's like, oh, you schedule with one. They, you know, work out of different spaces. We have the movement space. We also have kind of a community room where there's like 7 big recliner chairs so that you can actually come in and have sessions in a small group. So it's very intimate. It also makes it more affordable when we have group sessions. And we have a little outdoor patio for eating lunch on the picnic table.
Yeah. Great. And so does it get pretty busy in there? I mean, do you see a lot of, is there a lot of activity?
I'd say, you know, we're always, you know, it flows nicely. You know, it never seems like it's so crowded, but we get to run into each other quite a bit because, you know, we're all, it gets pretty, and especially when we have, you know, events, it can get pretty full in there, but it's a huge space, it feels like.
I can imagine. What is it, like 7 or 8 recliners?
Yes.
There. So and they're big, cushiony, like nice recliners. So yes, I'm excited to go back and experience some of the other things that you do over at Nourish. So let's then just have you introduce yourselves and talk about what you actually do. We'll start over here.
Okay. Well, I'm Decembera. I am a RN, and I focus on holistic alternative modalities such as Reiki, which is a form of energy work, sound therapy, which is another form of energy work. And those are the two main modalities I work with my clients. I also do detox coaching as well, and like some lifestyle coaching. But the main things I do at Nourish are Reiki and sound therapy. So, yes.
And so sound therapy with just various bowls, or are there
Yes.
any special
I use different
tools?
instruments. I use crystal bowls that are from quartz crystal. They're tuned to a specific frequency that's a harmonious frequency, so it's very resonating to the body. And I also work with gong, chimes, tingsha bells, just a multitude of instruments to help create a very harmonious vibe for your body, for your energy, help clear your energy, help move stuck, stagnant energy in the body, and really just help to realign you.
That sounds lovely. I'm getting relaxed just thinking about it.
It's a whole experience.
Yeah. So do you run Reiki at the same time you're doing the sound healing, or are they separate?
They're
things?
separate things, but I do combo sessions. So for my private sessions, I do offer, you could do Reiki by itself, sound therapy by itself, or we can do a combination where we do sound and Reiki. So we start with sound, then we go in and do some Reiki, and then we finish with sound.
Got it. And so when someone's experiencing a sound bath like this, are you sitting on the floor, or are you actually putting bowls on them? I've seen that before too. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
curious.
mix. It kind of just depends what I'm feeling like the person may need. But I do a mixture of on the floor, playing the bowls and the gong, but then I also will walk around with the gong, with the chimes, with the tuning forks, and actually work very close to their body. Sometimes I will place the bowls on their body if I'm feeling like they need it in certain areas. So it really just depends what the client is needing and what it's feeling like.
Yeah. Awesome. That sounds amazing.
It is.
All right. Juniper?
So yeah, I'm a licensed acupuncturist for 23 years, Chinese herbalist, as well as a certified yoga instructor, and I also guide people in Qigong as well, and also founder of Nourish Healing Collective.
And so Qigong, I've always been intrigued by it because I've seen it from many years ago. They used to have these Qigong gatherings in Austin. I noticed, like, because I lived in Austin for a long time, and they would have like a whole arena of people doing this modality, and all I knew is that it has to do with breathing and movement, but that's all I really knew. And now the more research I've done, it seems like it's a little more meditative. It's like a moving meditation almost, and I was like, that sounds awesome. I want to learn that. But can you just talk about that a little bit?
Well,
I don't
so
know
if
what
you
it
were
is.
to see somebody doing Qigong, you might think they're doing Tai Chi because it's very slow, it's very, slow meditative movement. However, the difference between Tai Chi, when you see Tai Chi, it's a martial art. So Tai Chi, there's an invisible opponent. So they actually use Tai Chi as a way to learn martial arts to actually fight. So they're strengthening, and so then they do it fast when they're in a combat. So with Qigong, it's actually an internal martial art. So there is no opponent. It's basically just you and the universe. And so you really are using awareness, breath, to be aware of the energy flowing in your own body and how you're connected with the world outside of you. And it's like harmonizing a little bit, kind of like the sound healing, but you're harmonizing your own energy. And back in the ancient texts, Qigong is actually, what they say is actually really the only way from this perspective to actually nourish your essence, which your essence is like a bank account. You come into this world with a certain amount of essence. And you spend it, you know, when you burn the candle at both ends, you're spending your essence. When you're super stressed, you're spending your essence. And so Qigong is the only way, according to East Asian medicine, to actually replenish your essence, which is longevity. It's what allows you to still live a long and, you know, fruitful life even into your, you know, 90s or
Wow.
hundreds even. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so when you deliver Qigong, are you, do you do it in like a yoga studio with people there, or are you outside?
I
anywhere?
learned Qigong outdoors, so I do love doing it outdoors. In nature, truthfully. But some Qigong teachers are very specific. They will only do it indoors because they really want you to not be distracted, and they want you to really tune in, so they like silence. So there's different perspectives on that for sure.
Okay, and of course acupuncture. I think a lot of people are more familiar with that nowadays. But is there? I know that I read there was you do a lot of on the face or facial acupuncture. Is that correct? Or-
That is a specific modality, facial rejuvenation acupuncture. Yeah. So in the ancient times, it was actually reserved only for kind of like the royalty, because they, you know, the idea is they wanted their spirit to rise up into their face, and then they, you know, so it was very reserved back then. So now it's open to everyone, and it's this idea that you are able to actually bring your spirit out into your face, and therefore it also, as a little side benefit, it also can help, you know, rebuild collagen. You know, you're working with the motor neuron points as well for the muscles in the face, and it just, you know, it helps to brighten and lift, you know, the face.
That's
as well.
amazing. I definitely want to try that. Yes. Wow. How exciting. Okay. Thank you. All right, Tabitha. What do you do?
I am a spinal flow practitioner. I am a therapeutic massage therapist. I'm a master Reiki practitioner. I do access bars, axiotonal realignment,
Wow.
acupressure, crystal stone medicine.
Wow. Okay. Because I did read what you do, you know, and I was like, wow, I don't know about these modalities. So tell me about the bars. I know it has a more intricate name, but I can't remember. What is it called?
Access bars.
Access bars.
Access
Okay.
consciousness bars, yes.
So what is this? What does it look like?
Well, there's no bars actually used.
Okay.
You're creating bars between different points in the head, and it takes about an hour to do. And it has helped getting rid of stuff and bringing good stuff in. And same with spinal flow.
Yes, and spinal flow I was also unfamiliar with. And I remember I asked Juniper when I went by the bazaar to explain it a little bit to me. So in your own words, what is spinal flow? Because I'm thinking, okay, you know, I have a spine, and I know we have energy that flows through our spine. We have the fluids in our spinal cord. Everything is very important part of our body, right? So what is that?
So it's working on the sacrum and a few access points in the cranium, and basically bringing your cerebral spinal fluid that's made in your head all the way down to your tailbone and all the way back up, letting it to flow freely. It's also your life force energy. So if you think of that cerebral spinal fluid as a river, I am really just trying to clear all the boulders and trees that fell in its way and allowing a beautiful flow. It helps release physical, emotional, and mental traumas and stresses stored in the body.
Wow. And so what does it look like? Because you're also a massage therapist. So are you putting your hands on various parts of the spine as you do this, or is it, you know, just energetic? A person's laying down, or they're...
So it is a touch modality. It is a very light touch, so it's not going in like as a massage therapist. It's I'm matching tone to the person. So some people will want a heavier touch than someone else. So basically I'm matching tone with their body, and on the access point just creating a little flow going, and everybody looks different on the table. Some people lay in perception and everything is internal. Some people have movement in their body. Some people breathe differently. I just tell people to don't deny your body anything. If it feels like it needs to do anything, allow it, because that allows your body to release. So some people will feel their fingers twitch, their shoulders, and different areas of the spine might release, especially in the hips. And it's a series of sessions. It's not a one and done type thing. But yeah.
And so each time a little bit more gets released and released and released and released, and then
yes.
And so with the bars, is it you're taking someone kind of through a meditation with the bars? How does that look?
So they can talk to me while they're getting the bars, and I'll talk to them, or they can be completely quiet, but I'm not guiding them.
Okay.
I'm not guiding them to do anything.
Yeah.
It's basically them just being internal and allowing the spaces to create balance in there, and to bring in, anywhere from creativity to joy, kindness, calm, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
And so how does one know that this might be a good modality for them? Like, is it kind of like, oh, well, I'm having, I don't know, writer's block, and I really, really want to write this screenplay? Or is it, I don't know, I'm having anger issues, or what is it?
It's everything.
Everything. Yeah.
It's everything. So both of those modalities really just allow your body to release trauma and stress.
Okay.
So if you're stressed out about, like you said about writer's block, we can help release that stress. It can go all the way from that to being, childhood or adulthood neglect, trauma, abuse, anxiety, depression, physical ailments, nervous system disorders, anything and everything. Neither one of them have any contraindications. So it doesn't matter what you have, both of those can be performed on everybody.
Yeah.
Unlike, massage, there's some instances where massage might not be a good fit for somebody.
Yeah.
That's very rare, but
yeah. So it's just non-invasive at all. Like
non-invasive, neither one of those.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, that's super interesting. Okay, so now I have a better understanding, because I was like, wow, what is this? I'm intrigued.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, Diana, tell us about what you do.
So I'm very similar to Decembra. I do Reiki. I also do the sound healing. I use different modality tools, such as tuning forks, tachyon rods. One thing I love to do with my clients also is I'm really big into mindset, very much into understanding, a client will come to me with certain belief systems, and I just love helping them to identify them, having them show, okay, well, maybe this is something that we can shift. So one of the things that people come to me, it's not just, energy work, but it's also the whole mind transformation, if you will.
Yeah.
So that's something I love to talk about. And I also use different systems, such as kind of like in the astrology world, I use a system called human design, which helps you to understand. You know about human design?
Yeah, I know a little bit, and I know about my own. But
Tell me, what is your profile type?
I'm a projector.
I knew it.
A projector. a 2-4. A 2-4.
I'm a 2-4 as well.
You're a 2-4?
Okay,
Oh,
I am.
awesome.
So I'm going to be.
You're 2-4 too? Really? Wow! Look at all these 2-4s.
Y'all know I got like so.
I'm not a projector though.
So these ladies are all manifesting generators. They're so beautiful, which is why they do so many different things. And understanding that is their gift, And for you and I, it's a little different. I'm a manifester, and so this is also a system I use for my clients to help them understand. When they see someone like who's so gifted in so many different modalities, and I show them not to compare yourself and recognize that this is their gift. When I see a manifesting generator, and I love them so much because they're able to learn things so quickly versus, for the rest of us. And our gifts are so unique. And so I love using these systems also with my clients.
Yeah. Oh, that's fascinating. So, and so it's basically like a client could get coaching and Reiki all in one with you, and human design on top of that, because once you know that, then you can share how they work best. You know, a lot of people are unaware of their human design and don't know how it can benefit them. And so I'm sure that it's super helpful. Just a little bit that I've learned over the last probably 6 months about my own human design. I'm like, wow, that's fascinating. Okay, well, that makes sense now. And like, okay, well, I can use that here and there. So great. And so when somebody comes into your space, then does it look like, you know, a massage table, like a Reiki setup, or is it just they're seated and then you move to the table, or
So
just depends?
in my particular sessions, people come in, it's first seated. My sessions are typically 2 hours long. They come in and because it's really about, you know, not just the Reiki, but it's also about the discussion. I like to ask them questions about, you know, what's going on, like why are we here? And then we talk about, you know, also what are their goals? Where do they want to go? And so we have a discussion. Then they go onto the massage table, and I do whatever I feel called to do, which is do my Reiki. I also use different tools, different modalities. And then after the energy work, then we come back and we have a discussion again and saying, okay, how did this go for you? And then also the belief systems that you had before the session. Do you feel differently? And usually it's yes, I feel so much more empowered. Because also during my sessions, when they're on the table, I also get messages. I get like downloads, and I'll share the messages with them. And sometimes they'll have a big emotional release. And then afterwards, after the second discussion, after the table, they usually will come back and, you know, I really love this modality, and I want you to help me to create action steps to what they want, basically, which I feel like is so big with the mindset work, with the belief systems.
Oh, awesome. That sounds great. So you also mentioned the Talkion rods, and I know this. I've learned about them before, but I can't remember exactly what they are or how they work. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So they are just like an energy tool, if you will. I know I've actually experienced a session with Tabitha, and she felt this big energy. They are just a tool to help you with accelerate the imbalances that you have in your body. And they also help accelerate what's called like manifestation. So if you're trying to call things in, it's just helping with getting your energy in your body and your belief systems to match what you want, if that makes sense.
Like raising your frequency, like trying to get you to the same frequency
to accept that you can also have it, and also seeing like where you need to make some of the shifts, like helping you to get more into your body and using your intuition more, because I think that's so important, especially with people and like the people that I work with. You know, the intuition is there. We all have these ways of speaking. Your body has an innate way of speaking to you. And a lot of times people just will tend to do, you know, like I did for most of my life, going with what my family wanted me to do, you know, and so we tend to ignore that, and that's where a lot of the imbalances come from. So I love using these tools, and they're just really tools, because I like to say I don't know if I can use the word magic, but all of the things that are inside of us, they're already there, and they're just helping to accelerate and to bring it to your awareness and to your conscious mind to shift it.
Yeah, and what do they look like? Is it a physical bar, is it wooden? Is it?
So actually, when I received them, they came with a cover, so I have no idea what they actually look like, but they're pretty heavy. They have different sizes, and I got like the large one because I'm using it also for myself, and they're the mega rods, so they're about this long and maybe about this in diameter. And I use them in my client sessions where I put them in their hands, or if I feel guided to put them on a specific body part, to also help with accelerate the I don't want to say certain words, but you know, to help shifting a lot of the imbalances in their body.
Wow, that's yeah, it's amazing. You know, and now I remembered where I've seen or heard of the rods, and actually it wasn't the rod. It's one of my girlfriends gave me a crystal.
Yes.
It was a tachyon crystal that she had gotten in Mexico City, and she said, like, this is very special. She was like, these are really unique and cool. And so I have one. It's beautiful. It's just this, it's kind of like a purple color, and yeah, and I didn't know exactly how to work with it or what to do with it, so I did a lot of research, and that was right before I got pregnant too. It's like I was wearing it a lot. Like I wonder if that just like called it in.
Oh my gosh, I love that you know about them. Most people don't know.
Exactly. And I was like, gosh, where is that? Because I know this term, you know, this terminology. Yes, I actually have a tachyon crystal, and she did. She told me, and the research that I did on this store in Mexico City. Very few places have them, and I was like, wow, this is really something. Yeah, so there's a lot of special qualities in there. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, well, thank you so much for all your sharing all your lovely modalities. So I think that we're going to break now. Can you just share where people can find you? And I guess we'll start with Decembera.
Okay. Well, you can find me at Nourish. You can also find me on Instagram at Living High Vibrations, or my website, which is livinghighvibrations.com.
Okay.
Yep. And so Nourish Healing Collective, it's 210nourish.com, or just Nourish Healing Collective on Instagram. And thankfully, these practitioners, along with quite a few others and events, can be found there at that handle.
All right, along with being found at Nourish, my Facebook and my Instagram are Soul Body Energetics, SOUL, and my website is soulbodyenergetics.com.
Right. And so for me, you can find me on Instagram as _Diana Kim. My website is thedianakim.com, and on Facebook, you can just search for Diana Kim. There's a lot of Diana Kims, oddly enough, so just look for the profile that says entrepreneur. But if you go to my website, thedianakim.com, you'll find my handles there.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah.